All right, so on our worksheet for today, there we go, we're going to have on the first page, these are going to be for all of our problems that we are doing decimal. We're taking a decimal and we're changing it to a fraction. And on the second page, we're going to take a fraction and we're going to make it a decimal. All right, so if we can have that at the tops of our two sheets of paper before we start working them, that way our paper is kind of set up. All right, the one that I'm going to work on first is the one that says decimal to fraction. How to change a decimal to a fraction. Okay, raise your hand if you need some more time fixing your paper. A little less, okay, that's fine. Okay, so I want us to make sure the paper that we're on is the one that says decimal to fraction. So we're going to start with a decimal. So on number 1, I'm going to write number 1 on my paper. And we're going to have 3.037. That is the first problem we are going to do together. I'm given a decimal. We want to make it a fraction. Okay, so make sure you write down our problem. We're going to put an equal sign. All right, does anyone recall from a couple weeks ago, how am I going to go about changing that to a fraction? What's the first thing I can do, Peyton?
You put the three whole numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Right after the equal sign to make it as your whole number for the fraction.
Perfect. So that whole number for our decimal, we're going to put after the equal sign, and that's going to be the whole number for my fraction. So there's that 3. Do y'all see how that matches? Okay. All right, what's going to go in the actual fraction? Braden?
37.
Where's 37 going? On the top. What's going to go underneath that 37? Mm-hmm. Okay, 100 is what a lot of people have said today, but not quite what we're looking for. How many numbers are behind the decimal? 1, 2, 3. So I don't want 2 zeros, I want 3 zeros, which actually makes the number 1,000. So that one's a little tricky because we do only have 2 numbers on top. Does it make sense why I didn't include the 0 on top? Like 037, is that a number I would actually use in real life? So I just use the 37, but when I pick 1,000 or 100 or 10, that's 1, 2, 3, which makes the number 1,000. Are we okay with that? Okay. After I make a fraction, we just circle it, we're done, keep moving? What do we always need to try to do? Julia, thank you for raising your hand. We need to try to simplify. And will this problem simplify? Raise your hand. Hand.
No.
Noah? No, thank you for raising your hand. No, it will not simplify, so I'm just going to circle that. That's my answer. Okay, so I'm going to write number 2 next to that. Number 2 says 10.92 equals. How am I going to set up that fraction? Peyton.
As usual, put the 10 as your whole number for the fraction.
Okay. 10 is the whole number, and what's going to go in my fraction?
92.
92, and what's going to be on the bottom? 100. So this would be a 100 because there are only 2 numbers after the decimal, so we put 2 zeros. Okay? Every time I write a fraction, we always want to check, will this simplify? Jessica? Yes, Jessica, what number can I divide these by? By 2. They're both even numbers, so I'm going to divide by 2. Equals. When I divide that by 2, so I can come over here to the side if I need to. 2 divided into 92. 2 will go into 9. 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. When I subtract, I get 1. 2 will go into 12. 2 will go into 12 6 times. So I get 46 on the top. What do I get on the bottom? 50. Half of 100 is 50. Okay? So 46 over 50, is that a good way to leave this answer? No. Raise your hand if you can tell me, what do I need to do? Easton. We do need to simplify, but there's actually something else here that is wrong. There's something else here that's wrong. Haley? That 10, that big number. Guys, if you leave off the big number here, then we're probably going to leave it off in my answer. So make sure we keep writing it. So equal, so we are going to simplify here. Easton, what number can I use to simplify this one? 2. We can just divide by 2 again. Okay. So half of 46 is? 23. Half of 50 is? 25. So I get 23 over 25. Can I simplify this anymore? No. So 23 over 25 is my answer? No. No. What do I still need? 10. The 10, the whole number. Okay, so now I can circle that 10 and 23 over 25. Make sure you'll let me know if I go off my screen. All right, are there any questions on number 2? Okay, so we're going to look at number 3. Number 3. Okay, so number 3 says 0.5. Okay, how am I going to set up this fraction? Keegan? 5 over 10. One number in the back, so just 1 0 making 10 on the bottom. What about the number in front, Keegan? Where's my number that goes in front? There isn't one. What's in front of the decimal, guys? A 0. Do I have to write the 0 there? No. For decimals, you can, though. For fractions, we do not put a 0. We just don't write anything there. Okay? So is this a good answer? We don't have anything in front? What do I need to do here, Mary Webb? Yeah, we can divide both of these by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. Once we have a 1 in our fraction, we really can't go any further, so it's just 1/2. 1 over 2. You'll notice, guys, I'm not rewriting my answer on the other sheet. I'm just circling it, making sure I'm numbering things neatly. If I take a little bit of extra time here, then I don't have to spend that extra time copying it over to the other sheet. All right, let's look at number 4. Number 4 is 1.08. Raise your hand if you can set that fraction up for me. Looking for a new hand. Mason.
So, it will go on the top.
Okay.
And then, 100 will go on the bottom.
Perfect. 8 on the top, 100 on the bottom, because there are 2 numbers after the decimal. What's going on here? Morgan? Yeah, don't forget that 1 in front of the fraction, okay? So now I have 1 and 8 over 100. Are we done? Good answer? No. Raise your hand. What can I do now? What can I do to this fraction? Christian? Divide it by 2. Okay, so I'm going to keep my 1. Please go ahead and write your 1. What's 8 divided by 2? 4. And 100 divided by 2 is 50, because that's half of 100, okay? We simplified. We're done. Is 1 and 4 over 50 a good answer? No. RJ, what can I do now? Divide by 2 again. If 2 will work, we need to use 2. If 3 will work, we need to use 3. But can 3 go into 100? 1,000? 10? So we're probably not going to be able to use 3 to simplify it at all. Okay. 5? Yeah, so 2s and 5s are really the main thing we'll use here, okay? So here, I still have my 1. Keep your big 1. 4 divided by 2? 2. 50 divided by 2? 25. All right, 1 and 2 over 25. Can I leave it like that?
No. Yes. No.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You don't sound sure.
Yes.
Yes, we can leave it like that. All right, just because I'm giving you a funny look, stick to your guns. So yes, it is 1 and 2 over 25. Sometimes I like to see if I can trick you. All right, let's look at number 5. 5.11. Okay. What am I going to make that? Preston. Peyton.
Put the 5 as your whole number and the 11 above the line and the 100 under the 11.
Okay, so I put 5 in front, 11 on top, 100 on the bottom. It's fraction. Can I simplify?
No.
No, we cannot simplify. All right, number 6. For number 6, I have 8. This one's going to look a little crazy. 0.435. Let's make this a fraction. It's a little scary looking. It's a big old number, but we can do it. All right, what's that fraction going to look like, Braden?
Okay. The 8 as the whole number.
8 as the whole number?
And then 435 on the top of the fraction.
Okay.
And then 1,000.
And then 1,000 on the bottom. Perfect. That is it. So there's the easy part. Would y'all agree that's easy, putting it in the fraction? All right. Simplifying is where it's like, do I simplify? Don't I simplify? What's going to happen here, Christian?
Divide by
5. If it ends in 5 and 0, use 5. So 2 is an easy one because if it ends in 2, 4, 6, or 0, we can use 2. If it ends in 5 and 0, we can use 5. If they both end in 0, you can use 10 because 5 times 2 is 10. Okay. All right, so we're going to divide these by 5, like Christian said. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. Make sure we keep our 8. All right, again, I got to divide that 435 by 5. That might be difficult to do in my head. So I'm going to go over here to the side. 5 divided into 435. Okay, 5. Can 5 go into 4? Can 5 go into 43? Yes, 8 times. Okay, so 8 times 5 is 40. When I subtract, I get 3. Let's bring down the 5. 5 will go into 35. 7 times. 7 times 5 is 35. So when I divide that by 5, 435 divided by 5 is 87 is my top number. On the bottom, guys, remember my little trick that I showed you? 5 will go into 10. So there's my 10. 5 will go into 10 how many times? Twice. And then I have 2 zeros. Yes. Is Ada not in your class with you? Ada.
Yeah, she's coming.
Okay, she has it with her. Okay, 8 and 87 over 200. We good with that? Yeah. Can I simplify it? No. Does 2 work? No. Does 5 work? Those are pretty much all we can really use on these since the bottom numbers are by 10s. Okay. All right, let's look at number 7. We have 15.51 equals. Make that a fraction for me. I'm looking for a new hand. Someone whose hand has not gone up yet. Yours has been up. Nope, I've called on all those so far at some point. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Mason. Kelsey. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Perfect. And can this one simplify? No. Can 2 go into 51? Can 5 go into 51? That one is done. All right, let's look at number 8. Number 8, we have 10.74. Braden Rubio, I want you to set up that fraction for me.
10.
Okay.
74 top.
Perfect.
And then 100 at the bottom.
Perfect. 10 in front, 74 on top, 100 at the bottom. Can this one simplify, Frank?
Yes.
What number can I divide by? Okay, and what number did you divide by to get 37? 2. So we're going to divide by 2. All right, make sure we keep the 10. 74 divided by 2, as Frank said, is 37 over 50. Can that simplify any more? No. Okay, number 9. Number 9 is 23.9. 23.9. Chikaria, what's my fraction going to look like? 23? 9 at the top, 10 at the bottom. Can this simplify?
No.
No. Apparently I just decided to give you a bunch of odd ones that don't simplify. All right, let's look at number 10. Number 10, which is 4.502. Make that a fraction for me, Haley.
The 4 is in the front.
Okay?
502 is on top.
Okay.
And 1,000 is on the bottom.
And 1,000 is on the bottom. Awesome. All right. Can I simplify this one?
Yes.
Gabby? And what can I divide them by? 2. They're even numbers, so we can divide by 2. So I'm going to leave my 4 in front. Again, 502 is a little big, so I'm going to go over to the side. 2 divided into 502. Can y'all see where I'm writing?
Yes.
Okay. So 2 will go into 5? Twice. 2 times 2 is 4. When I subtract, I get 1. Bring down the 0. 2 will go into 10? 5 times. That gives me 10. When I subtract, I get 0, but I've got to bring down the 2. 2 will go into 2 once. So 2 will go into 502. 251 times on the top. Again, let's group those first two numbers. How many times will 2 go into 10? 5, and then put your 2 zeros, so 500. Okay, and can that simplify anymore? That is my answer. All right. That's going to leave you with 10 on the other side to do on your own. All right, so down here you'll do 11 through 20. I want us to flip over to our other blank sheet of paper that we had. All right, so on our other sheet of paper, and actually that's a good idea, I just saw Braden do this. All right, so I'm going to draw a little line here on that first one. These are the ones we did together. All right, and then the bottom half will be the ones you're working on your own. All right. So now on this next part, we're going to start on 21. So we're starting with number 21 here. 49 over 25. All right, and as you can see, we're starting with a fraction, and we want to make it a decimal. All right, so equals. What am I going to be doing to make it a decimal? Jakaria? We're going to be dividing. Remember that fraction bar is also a division symbol. So I'm going to set up my division house. Where are my numbers going to go in that division house? RJ? 25 at the door and 49 in the house. Remember, whatever is down goes at the door. That's an easy way to remember it. Down, door. All right, we are going to make this a decimal, so I'm going to go ahead and add a dot and raise it to the roof. Are y'all okay with that? Add a dot, raise it to the roof. Okay. Can 25 go into 4? Can 25 go into 4? No. Can 25 go into 49, Braden? Yes, how many times? 2. If I have 2 quarters, that's 50 cents, right? So that's going to be bigger than 49. So we're going to go just once. Okay, so we're going to say it'll go into 49 once. Make sure your 1 is on top of the 9 from 49, since that's what we're dividing it into. 1 times 25 is? 25. When I subtract, 9 minus 5 is 4, and 4 minus 2 is 2. So I get 24. Okay, since I'm making this a decimal and I have stuff left over, what do? Add a 0. And bring it down. And I might need to make that line on top a little bit longer. All right, so now I need to decide how many times can 25 go into 240. Now guys, if you look at the other problems, 25 is on the bottom a few times on your homework. So I'm going to make sure my multiplication, for one, I don't erase it because I might need it on some of the other problems. How many times can 25 go into 240? What's a good number to try for that? Noah? 9. Okay, so let's do 25 times 9. It makes me nervous to start that big, but we will. 9 times 5? 45. Make sure you're writing this to the side because we might need it on another problem later down the road. Maybe one that we're working together. Maybe one that you're doing on your own. Okay. 9 times 2? 18 plus 4, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I get 22. So 225, will that work? Yeah, it's smaller than 240. Can I go higher than 9? No, 9's the highest. I'm going to put 9, and 9 times 25 we just worked out was 225. Alright, so subtracting this, can I do 0 minus 5? No, so 4 becomes 3, and now I have 10 minus 5, which is 5, and 3 minus 2, which is 1. Okay, I have some left over, so I'm going to add a 0 and bring it down. 25 and 2, 150. Well, we know we can't use 9. What would be a good number to try here? What do you think, Braden? 5. We can do 5. So 25 times 5. All right, so real quick, 25 is like a quarter, right? A quarter is 25 cents. If I have 5 quarters, how much money is that? $1.25, right? So that would be 125, $1.25. 5 times 5, 25. 5 times 2 is 10, plus the 2 is 12. See? Okay, how much is 5 quarters? How much money is it? $1.25, right? $1 is the 1. The 25 is this 25 cents. You see what I'm saying? So when I do these, I always think about quarters. So when I see 150 in my head, I'm thinking $1.50. How many quarters is that? 6. 5 quarters is $1.25. All right, maybe I shouldn't have told that story just now. 25 times 6. Let's try that out. So did 5 work? No, we got 125. It's smaller. Can I get closer to 150 than that, though?
Yeah.
So let's try 6. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry my 3. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 3, 13, 14, 15. So I get $1.50. So is 6 a better number? Yeah, so we're going to say 6. 6 times 25 is 150, and I get 0. So my answer here is going to be 1.96. Why did I end up with a number in front of my decimal, but I didn't have a number in front of the fraction? Why did that happen? Does anyone see something in my fraction as to why I have a number in front of the decimal? Gabriella? This fraction is improper. Okay? That's why I had a number in front. Now that we've gone back and looked at it, does that kind of logically make sense? So if you get a number in front of your decimal, just make sure you had an improper fraction. Okay? If not, you've got a number somewhere wrong. All right, let's look at number 22. For number 22, we're doing 18 over 20. Okay, how am I going to change that to a decimal? Easton, how am I going to make it a decimal? What do I need to do to make a fraction a decimal? Braden? We got to divide. Okay. Braden, can you tell me where my numbers are going to go in this division symbol? Carrie, can you tell me where my numbers are going to go?
The 20's going to go outside. Yeah, and the 18 goes inside.
Perfect. 20 goes outside. Whatever is down is at the door, and then 18 goes to the inside. I'm going to go ahead and add a decimal and raise it to the roof. All right. Can 20 go into 1? No. Can 20 go into 18? No. So I'm going to have to add a 0. Can 20 go into 180? Yes. Okay, Peyton, how many times? 9. All right. So when I do this multiplication, I'm going to do it in my head, because what is 9 times 0? 9 times 0 is 0. And then 9 times 2 is 18. Do I have anything left over? No. So what is my answer here? Ooh. Not 9. 0.9. 0.9. It's not just 9. We got that decimal point in front. If you don't have a decimal point in front, you did not raise it to the roof. Make sure you raise your decimal up to the roof. All right. Moving on down. Please do not squish yours under there. We're going to need that space in a little bit for something else. So I'm going to move down to number 23. Number 23 says 6 and 7. 25th. Look, there's that 25 again. I told you we're going to be using it a lot. Okay. Who can set that up to make it a decimal? Peyton?
You have to wait for the whole number, and then you have to start dividing the 25 times 7. Divide by 7.
All right, so we're dividing the 25 into the 7. All right, like Peyton said, so we're going to wait. I'm not doing anything with the whole number. He said just wait on it. Don't bother it. 25 is at the door because it's down on the bottom. 7 is in the house because it's what's on top. Add a decimal, raise it to the... Can 25 go into 7? No. So I'm going to add a 0. How many times can 25 go into 70, Jeremy? Twice. 2 times 25 is? 50. 0 minus 0. 7 minus 5. Right. So I get 20 left over. What do I need to do? Add a 0 and bring it down. And you might want to, when you're adding a 0, make that line on top a little bit longer. Okay. How many times can 25 go into 200? Frank? 8. So I'm going to go over here to the side just to double check before I write it in pen since I'm not using a pencil. So 8 times 5 is 40. Carry my 4. 8 times 2 is 16. 17, 18, 19, 20. So I get 200. So that is perfect. 8 times 25 was 200. When I subtract, I get 0. So my answer, I have 0.28. Is that my answer? No. What did Peyton tell me at the very beginning I was waiting on? Julia? The 6. He said wait on the whole number. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw an arrow. 6. I'm going to draw it and write it in front. Was 6 actually part of my division problem? No. But are y'all okay with the fact that I just kind of brought it over? Yeah. All right, and I'm going to circle 6.28. Okay. All right, number 24. Number 24. We have 7 over 8. Number 24, I have 7 over 8. All right, how am I going to set this one up? Jessica, I haven't heard from you. Set it up for me. So we're doing 8. And let's be careful when we're saying this. We're saying 8's at the door, so it's going into 7. This actually means 7 divided by 8 because 8's by the door. Get it? 7 divided by 8 by the door. So this is 8 divided into 7 because we're putting it into the 7 in the house. Okay. So if I say 7 divided by 8 because 8 is by the door, or 8 divided into 7 because 7 is in the house. You'll see how that kind of works? Okay. Add my decimal or raise it to the roof. Can 8 go into 7? No. So we're going to add a 0. Can 8 go into 70? Yes. All right, be careful here. I messed this one up. I'm going to be honest. I messed it up earlier, so let's carefully decide how many times can 8 go into 70? 8. 8? Why? 8. What's 8 times 8 give me? 64, which is as close as we can get. I'm not going to lie. I might have tried to say 7 earlier today. It's 8. 8 was right. RJ is better at this than me. Okay, so 70 minus 64. I can't subtract 0 from 4, so I'm going to make that 6. So now it's 10 minus 4, which is? 6. Let's add a 0. Bring it down. How many times will 8 go into 60? Peyton? 7 times. 7 times 8 is? 56. I can't do 0 minus 6, so I'm going to borrow. 6 becomes? 5. And then now it's 10 minus 6, which is? 4. Add a 0. Bring it down. 8 will go into 40. 5 times. 5 times 8 is? 40. When I subtract, I get 0. I did. Okay. All right. Is there anything in front of the fraction? No. So do I need anything in front of the decimal?
No.
No, so that is our answer. Okay. All right, I have one more that I want us to do together. All right, we're actually going to skip to number 35. So I'm going to put a few little like stars next to it because I'm doing this one out of order. I'm going to move it. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so 35. I'm going to skip down to 35. All right, 35 is a little funky. It says 3 9/5. So this is number 35, 3 9/5. Okay, it looks a little funky, but guys, we're going to work it the same way. I'm still going to be doing division. Set up my division problem for me here, please. Drayden? Yeah.
5 outside of the door, and then 9 on the inside.
5 outside the door, 9 on the inside. Go ahead, add your decimal, raise it to the root. Okay. 5. 5 will go into 9. Peyton? 1 time. 1 times 5 is? 5. 9 minus 5 is? 4. So let's add a 0. 5 will go into 40. How many times? 8. 8 times 5 is? 40. When I subtract, I get 0. So I get 1.8 as my answer?
No.
What is wrong? Why is 1.8 not my answer? Braden, prove it down. Yeah, I have a 3 in front. And what number does that say? 1. What do you think I'm going to want to do with those two numbers in front, Mary Webb? We're going to add them together. So if I have two numbers in front, we're just going to combine them. If I combine 3 and 1, what new number does that give me? 4. So my answer, I'm just going to write it on top, is actually 4.8. This happened on the test that we took doing this when you were adding. Some of you ended up with a funky fraction that looked like this, 3 9/5. What happens is your whole numbers, you just combine them. If I combine 3 and 1, are you okay with that being 4? So that's where that 4 came from. All right, and that's the one I boxed in. I didn't box in 1.8. I boxed in the 4.8 that's on top of that. All right, so we have done 10 on top. We've done 5 on the bottom. I'm going to help you out even a little bit more. All right, on the top, I want you to do 11 through 15. Okay. On the bottom, we stopped at number 24. I want us to do 25 through 29. Okay? So on the bottom, we're doing 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. All right, this is just for my regular classes. My advanced classes are completing all of these tonight. I want us to put a little star next to number 27. 27 is going to end up giving you a whole number, and that is okay. You still need to show your division. But when you divide, you will get a whole number for 27, so you might want to put a little star next to that because it's going to look a little special. Okay? Guys, that's only giving you 10 problems. I expect you to complete all 10 of those, okay? Especially knowing how much I just took off of your workload. Okay? So, please, let's get started on those. No, I'm coming back. You had a question?
What numbers do we do on the top?
On the top, I'm sorry, good question. On the top, it was 11 through 15. And on the bottom, 25 through 29. Yes, Shakaria?